This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thank you for staying with us. We now have more than 3,000 cases of coronavirus in the state.
Our Amanda Quintana is here with what the numbers are showing us. Amanda?
Of those more than 3,000 cases, more than 900 people need hospitalization. That's about 29%. In Dane County, now with 324 confirmed cases and 12 deaths, it looks like the numbers show a plateau in cases. Public health workers tell us they are cautiously optimistic. Now compare that to a graph of Milwaukee County with more than 1,600 cases and 77 deaths. The numbers still showing a pretty steep rise. Data still shows the virus is disproportionately affecting the African American community. DHS says that's an issue experts are seeing across the state. Now there are more than 3,000 cases being reported, with 128 people dying from COVID-19. Today, Polk County reported its first case, and Brown and Grant counties reported their first deaths. Governor Evers is urging people to volunteer.
Our effort to build this volunteer network is one of the many proactive measures that we are taking to plan for that surge of acute cases that are projected to hit our healthcare systems in the coming weeks.
He's asking for volunteers for clinical and non-clinical support roles and licensed professionals like physicians, nurses, social workers, and respiratory therapists. DHS says with 20 active labs running tests, there's more capacity for tests than the number of tests we've been having done by providers. So leaders are expanding guidance for further testing.
Amanda, thank you. Wisconsin U.S. Senators Tammy Baldwin and Ron Johnson are calling on the Postal Service to investigate what exactly happened to those missing absentee ballots. In a letter to the Inspector General, the senators cite numerous accounts from the state that the Postal Service failed to fulfill its critical mission of getting all of those ballots in the hands of voters. The Wisconsin Elections Commission reported that nearly 1.3 million absentee ballots had been requested by voters, and about 235,000 ballots had not yet been returned as of yesterday. State officials reported 3 tubs of ballots from Oshkosh and Appleton were discovered in a mail processing center. The Milwaukee Election Commission has also called for an investigation into a separate set of undelivered ballots.
The Wisconsin legislature is getting ready to move ahead with the coronavirus relief. Amy Reed joins us live from the Capitol to explain what we know about this upcoming session so far.
Leaders in the legislature announced today that they'll begin an extraordinary session next week on Tuesday. In a release today, they said that they're still working out the details, including what day each chamber will meet to take up legislation. They also have not released what the text of this bill will be, but did say it will allow Wisconsin to use millions of federal dollars in addition to $2 billion in coronavirus funding to aid in the state response. In a statement today saying, quote, "We're confident that this plan will make the necessary legislative changes to help Wisconsin deal with the extensive challenges from this public health crisis while also protecting the integrity of our state budget." Again, no specifics on what that legislation will look like, but they said that they're working with Democrats to help come up with this bill. In draft proposals that we've seen, we saw an decrease in state spending. We saw health care provisions and also waiving the 1-week waiting period for unemployment benefits. We're hoping to learn more by next week.
Amy, thank you.
A lawsuit is asking the Wisconsin Supreme Court to release elderly and vulnerable inmates from state prisons who would be at the greatest risk of coronavirus. The lawsuit, filed by the American Civil Liberties Union of Wisconsin, says the release is necessary to avoid inmates stricken with COVID-19 flooding hospitals and communities where prisons are located. The action mirrors similar moves in states across the country by the ACLU and others.
Reports of suspected child abuse dropped by half after schools closed their doors, according to the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families.
Our Gabriella Becerra joins us now live from downtown Madison to explain why we saw such a dramatic change. Gabby?
Professionals like teachers, doctors, first responders, and social workers are among the top reporters of child abuse and neglect, which explains why reports dropped by nearly 50% after schools closed. Wisconsin Department of Children and Families says the drop was seen across multiple mandated reporter categories, which are those professionals I mentioned before. With virtual learning in place, it's starting to look similar to a summer break trend. Secretary Emily Amundsen says Child Protective Service response times have not changed.
Something that we would expect, and obviously during a pandemic, we would expect that families are facing increased stress, and so we absolutely are monitoring this very closely.
Dane County Department of Human Services says they are continuing to follow up on allegations of child welfare concerns. A statement to News 3 Now reads, "We haven't missed a beat as it relates to that responsibility and adapted quickly during the course of the pandemic to make sure concerns were followed up on immediately. We do recognize that children are out and about in less public places and encourage anyone with concerns to use our helpline to report them." More information on how to report a case can be found on our website, channel3000.com. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, we'll share more about what the state has to say during this pandemic.
All right, Gabriella Becerra live downtown Madison. Gabby, thank you.
More than half of Wisconsin's 133 hospitals reported today that they have less than a week's supply of goggles and gowns worn when treating coronavirus patients. More than a third of hospitals are also reporting they have less than a week's worth of face shields, N95 masks, and paper medical masks. Wisconsin, like many other states, faces a shortage of personal protective equipment vital to healthcare workers who are treating COVID-19 patients. Governor Evers and members of his administration have said that supplies they are receiving from the national stockpile will not come close to meeting the need. Retired nurses at UW Health are coming back to help during the crisis. In the last month, UW Health has rehired more than a dozen retired nurses to staff the COVID-19 hotline, the telehealth platforms, infection control, and the post-anesthesia care unit. Beth Sommerfeld worked for 27 years at UW Health up to her retirement in 2018. She said when she was called and asked to come back to work, there was no hesitation.
When all of this pandemic was unfolding, I felt like I was in the wrong place. When I was sitting at home sipping my coffee and reading my book, I felt like I needed to get back. I needed to give back.
I'm one of the nurses on respiratory hotline.
Barb Usselman is also volunteering at UW Health. She worked with diabetes patients at UW Health for 38 years. When she was asked to come help, she didn't even think twice.
I actually received a letter in the mail, and when I read it, before that even, I was like, oh, I wish there was something I could do to help. And when I read the letter, I was like, oh, wow, this is my opportunity to make a difference in some small way.
The women say even though answering questions on the hotlines is different than their previous jobs at UW Health, they still enjoy helping patients during this time of need.
The economic impact of coronavirus is getting worse every day, affecting households all over the U.S. The newest numbers reveal 16.8 million Americans have filed for unemployment benefits since mid-March, nearly wiping out the more than 18 million jobs created in the past 11 years. That is the largest and fastest string of U.S. job losses in generations. And dozens of economists say there's no need to worry about an upcoming recession. 45 economists said in a survey the U.S. is already in a recession, and they believe we will stay in one for the first half of this year. That survey done by the National Association of Business Economics. It points to the pandemic as the problem, of course, and predicts a spike in unemployment, a decline in spending, and a dip in the economic growth rate. Still, the economists are optimistic that things will bounce back in the second half of the year.
The president said today it appears the coronavirus death toll in the U.S. will be lower than projected and touted progress in some major cities. But task force officials still urge caution and say some areas must still prepare for a surge. While some White House advisors indicated they'd like to see the economy open next month, health experts have said widespread testing will be key to returning to normal. The Surgeon General talked about steps the administration is taking to help communities of color disproportionately impacted by the virus.
I need you to know you are not helpless, and it's even more important that in communities of color, we adhere to the task force guidelines to slow the spread.
As lawmakers negotiate additional relief funding, the administration says stimulus checks will begin going out next week to eligible individuals who have direct deposits set up with the IRS. Starting next week, the IRS says you will be able to track your payments.
So the college is out of session due to COVID-19. There's no need for the parking lots there on campus, and that's why the Dane County Airport is asking the college for a little help. Due to the lack of travelers, the airport needs somewhere to store rental vehicles. That's why airport officials asked if they could store those vehicles in campus parking lots.
Whether taxpayers know it or not, they deserve for us to work together and provide solutions like this to these unique kinds of problems during a crisis. And this could have been a pretty high cost to the airport, frankly, if they had to go store the vehicles somewhere else. And since we had the opportunity to provide it to them, it's no cost to the college.
And Thomas says there are over 200 spots in the Truex parking lot for those rental vehicles.
UW-Madison is canceling all face-to-face summer non-credit programs and activities, with the exception of a few that are able to run using distance learning technologies. UW-Madison moved summer 4-credit courses online or to alternative modes of instruction. Campus events and meetings are canceled through May 15th.
Due to social distancing, many people are relying on video conferences to connect with their loved ones. Zoom's video conferencing software has suddenly become part of millions of people's lives, but privacy concerns and Zoom bombing, that's when uninvited participants harass others during a meeting, those are growing problems. Jesse LaGrue, he's an IT security architect at Madison College, says you should always pay attention to the privacy policies.
Zoom, they do have information in their privacy policy. It's been updated since that actually did note we may be selling your data, we may be giving away your data. And without anyone actually reading that information, you really have no idea.
Zoom officials say they, quote, really messed up by not making the internet conferencing platform more secure, and they say Zoom is working on stronger end-to-end encryption, but admits that's still months away. LaGrue says if you are worried about using Zoom, use other video conferencing apps like FaceTime and Skype.
Wisconsin Governor Evers is allowing churches to offer drive-up services today for Good Friday and Easter. The governor last week denied a request from Republican lawmakers asking him to roll back his stay-at-home order that doesn't allow more than 10 people to gather for a church service. Many churches have moved to broadcasting services online, while others have already been offering drive-up services. And News 3 Now will be airing a service on 10:30 Sunday morning. This Easter Sunday's Mass will be celebrated by Madison Bishop Donald Hying. He will be at St. Peter Catholic Parish in Middleton. Again, that is this Sunday at 10:30 right here on News 3 Now.
All right, a sunny but cool start to the weekend. Only going to get cooler from here. Let's check your first warning forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Saturday won't be too bad, right, Gary?
Yeah, I was just going to say that'll be the exception. Temperatures will actually go up a little bit for tomorrow, but then rain will start. We'll turn colder for Easter, and then we'll turn snowy by Sunday night. Visible cloud track shows we had quite a bit of sunshine today. Just some mid and high level clouds starting to move in from the west, but we'll still see partly cloudy skies tonight. Temperatures right now right around 50 degrees, give or take a couple of degrees. A few places have passed the 50-degree mark, including Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. But rain is on the way beginning late tomorrow into tomorrow night and Sunday. We could be looking at anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches of rain, and then that will change to snow later Sunday night into early Monday morning. Right now, about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, mainly north and west of Madison, but if you're heading up into central Wisconsin, could be seeing much heavier snow totals up there. Otherwise, look for skies to be partly cloudy overnight. Temperatures will drop into the middle 30s by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be cloudy and milder with a high of 58, but those rain showers arriving from the south late in the afternoon, and that will continue into Easter Sunday. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, how DeForest Police are continuing their Read with an Officer program. And coming up tonight at 6, there's a new 24/7 helpline available for Dane County residents who are struggling with substance abuse during the COVID-19 pandemic. That's tonight, News 3 Now at 6.
It started with one man and his father's simple advice.
He said, son, make sure the quality of work is worthy of the family name.
Over 20 years and thousands of clients later, Fry Construction still follows this advice, giving you the very best craftsmanship for roofing, windows, and gutters. If you want to trust the work done on your home, trust the family name that's behind it. Start with Fry Construction and Home Improvement at fryconstruction.com.
It's dinner time in America, and the breadwinner arrives home from a long day at work. Now the family can sit down at the table, where everyone knows to be mindful of their manners.
Dinner time has changed. Our quality hasn't. Reynolds Wrap, foil made in the USA since 1947.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
From our family to yours, we want to encourage you to keep going. Keep protecting what's most important. Keep hopeful in the face of all this. keep believing, keep being strong, keep supporting the people on the front line, keep staying together while staying apart, keep being fearless, and most of all, keep dreaming. American Family Insurance is mailing our personal auto insurance customers a premium relief payment to help them keep going. We'll keep being here when you need us.
Shop the largest selection of quality furniture and mattresses from the comfort of your home on steinhoffels.com. Right now, Steinhoffels will ship your purchase free to your curb, driveway, or garage. Start shopping right now with a name you can trust. steinhoffels.com.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
10 to 6, there's a new 24/7 helpline available for Dane County residents who are struggling with substance abuse issues during the pandemic. And an update from the Greater Madison Chamber of Commerce about the economic impact this is having on Madison.
When the weekend arrives, some hit the gym, some hit the snooze alarm. But before doing anything, turn on News 3 now. Get breaking news and weather, what's new overnight, and coming up in the day ahead. News 3 now this morning, 7 days a week.
Police say there are no signs of foul play after a body was pulled from Lake Monona. Madison police say the body of an adult male was pulled from the lake this afternoon. Officers say a passerby reported seeing a body in the water. This was near Monona Terrace. Dane County Medical Examiner's Office will release cause of death at a later time.
A Madison man is arrested following an opioid-related death in Greene County. New Glarus police and first responders were called to a report of an unresponsive person on Wednesday. Officials say that person was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say they believed it was an opioid-related death and believe that 63-year-old Kerwin Harvey was suspected of supplying opioids to the victim. On Thursday, multiple agencies arrested Harvey on Madison's east side. Harvey could face a first-degree reckless homicide charge.
The Read with an Officer program has been around DeForest for nearly 2 years now, but due to the stay-at-home order, officers are finding a different way to keep that program alive. Officers will now be reading their stories on their Facebook page until the COVID-19 pandemic is over. The program usually happens the first Wednesday of the month, and kids can read 10 minutes with officers. Say it's a good way for them to interact with the children in that area.
It's kind of a good way for kids to obviously interact positively with us, but also to read in kind of an environment where there's no judgment. They can come in and just read you an officer, and we kind of encourage them to read through the book. So we think it's a good, positive program.
And the Read with an Officer program is a partnership between the officers and the DeForest Library.
With all of us practicing social distancing, it is hard to go days and weeks without seeing our loved ones. But a Madison woman's boyfriend is making sure she is feeling loved while they practice social distancing. Kelly Zimmer lives on the west side. Her boyfriend lives about an hour away from her. This morning, she woke up to find pictures of her and her boyfriend on her yard, along with loving words of encouragement from him.
I cried tears of joy. I was so happy yet sad that we're not together, but he wanted to do something to make me smile, and it did.
The pictures in Zimmer's yard reflect adventures they have had together. Their favorite place to go is Madeline Island in Wisconsin, where they go every summer. Zimmer says they stay connected by FaceTiming every day.
Well, they're really playing by the rules. Gary Canalti joins us now with your first warn forecast. Gary, thankfully those things didn't blow all through the neighborhood. It wasn't too windy this morning.
No, the winds have died down, but after a mild day tomorrow, those winds are going to pick up. But this time, they're out of the north as we head from Easter Sunday into Monday, and that could change rain to snow. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for a mild day tomorrow with temperatures in the upper 50s, but showers will develop late in the afternoon. Then look for rain from Saturday night through Easter Sunday. Could be looking at an inch or more of rain in some spots. And then that rain will mix with and change to snow later Sunday night into Monday morning. Right now, my thinking is about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, mainly north and west of Madison. Again, temperature is going to be very critical, and also how fast the precipitation moves out compared to how fast the cold air moves in. So it's kind of a shoot and shooting match there to figure out exactly how much snow is going to come down. But again, the rainfall on Easter Sunday could lead to some localized flooding, so we have an alert day in for that, and then also an alert day for Sunday night into Monday morning for that potential for at least some minor snow accumulations. This time of year, it'll be a slushy, wet snow that could cause slippery travel. Right now, things are pretty quiet across the upper Midwest, but a major storm system is developing in the southwestern part of the country. It looks pretty innocent right now, just spinning around California, but this hasn't picked up very much moisture, and it'll follow a jet stream path that'll take it through Kansas and then eventually right over southern Wisconsin. As it moves eastward, it'll start tapping into moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and drawing it northward, and that's going to lead to a major storm system. To the south, a significant severe weather outbreak expected for Easter Sunday with the possibility for strong long-track tornadoes, especially in the moderate risk area. And this is 3 days out already across parts of Alabama, Mississippi, back into Louisiana, and perhaps as far north as central Tennessee and central Kentucky. The northern side of the storm system could bring a potential winter storm, especially from southeastern Minnesota through central and northern Wisconsin up into upper Michigan. It's going to be a very narrow band because to the north and west, the precipitation will cut out quickly. To the south, it'll be mainly in the form of rain with just a changeover to snow. That's why we're not looking at a lot of snow here, but you go just north of our viewing area, and the potential is there for a significant winter storm. Winter storm watches have already been issued from southeastern Minnesota through northern Wisconsin and into upper Michigan for Sunday into Monday. On future track, you can see things pretty quiet overnight. The clouds start moving in tomorrow. The showers arrive late in the afternoon south of Madison. We'll see showers Saturday night into Sunday, and then again, that changeover to snow may start taking place Sunday night. Tomorrow, look for mostly cloudy skies, a milder day with a high of 58, but those showers developing south of Madison late in the afternoon. Rainfall amounts Saturday night into Sunday, perhaps around an inch or a little bit more in some areas, and the potential for snow, about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, mainly north and west of Madison. But again, that could go up or down by an inch or two depending on how cold it gets. Otherwise, 7 to 10 day forecast. We have those alert days in the forecast for Sunday and Monday. Very cold conditions for the first part of next week. Temperatures rebounding toward the end of the week. Maybe some rain showers by Sunday the following weekend, but it looks like the weather pattern will slow down a little bit after that.
All right, Garrett, we'll look forward to that. Thank you very much. And ahead on News 3 Now at 5, a football league that just ramped up this year has announced it is suspending operations. We'll explain after a short break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A little ding means more savings now at the Brothers Main Scratch and Dent Floor Model Sale. You'll get more amazing deals for your kitchen, laundry, and living room. Get up to 40% off hundreds of products to make you and your home happier. Want more? How about expert salespeople every day or a risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee? The Scratch and Dent Floor Model Sale means more selection, more savings, and more ways to make you and your home happier. Now at the Brothers Main, your local store for more since 1938.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection remains open to serve our customers and communities during these times of uncertainty. During Safer at Home, we've got you covered for all your plumbing service needs. Call us for help. We are here for you.
Take a break from cooking at home and order takeout from your local Monk's Bar and Grill. Monk's is offering curbside pickup takeout service for your safety and convenience during these difficult times. Visit monksbarandgrill.com for takeout menus and online ordering.
Are you nervous about leaving your parents' phone plan?
You got this.
You could have.
It's just a plan. Nope.
Individual plan phobia.
Plan phobia? Mm-hmm. We got your back.
Switch to your own plan at US Cellular and get $400 back.
Plan phobia? Mm-hmm. They got your back.
Switch and get $400 back. Only at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. As part of your community, we're here to help you during these challenging times.
Keeping your Toyota safe and reliable is important, especially right now.
Many of our service centers are open. Schedule service online and drop off and pick up your vehicle with no contact. Need to replace your old vehicle? Most Toyota dealers offer online shopping and will defer your first payment for 90 days.
We're here for you. Contact your local Toyota dealer to see how they can help. Toyota.
Wow, that's Ensure Max Protein with high protein and 1 gram sugar.
It's a sit-up banana, bend at the waist.
Trying.
Keep it up. You'll get there.
Whoa!
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. Ensure Max Protein.
It isn't being evenly distributed.
With not enough COVID-19 tests to go around in Wisconsin, how are healthcare facilities making the call on who gets tested and who doesn't?
It's the fear of the unknown. Even these smaller towns need them.
News 3 Now investigates, Monday at 10.
The XFL has suspended operations effective immediately and informed all employees that they have been terminated.
And those employees will receive their final paychecks. The XFL is funded by Vince McMahon. It canceled the season after 5 games due to the pandemic when a Seattle Dragons player tested positive. While a handful of executives remain employed, the league currently has no plans to return in 2021.
Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Bucks have established an emergency relief fund to help part-time employees. The fund will provide financial relief to part-time employees at Fiserv Forum. Levy, which is Fiserv Forum's food and beverage provider, as well as the stadium's housekeeping staff and the Bucks G League affiliate, the Wisconsin Herd. So far, the Bucks have provided $500,000 in financial assistance to part-time employees, with an additional $500,000 through the emergency relief fund. Bucks players also donated money to the employees.
Stay with us. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
It's totally normal to have constipation with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way.
More exercise, more water, and more fiber is the only way to manage it.
Is it?
Maybe you think it's occasional constipation.
Maybe it's not.
It could be a chronic medical condition called IBS-C, and time to say yes to Linzess. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Change your thinking to IBS-C. If your constipation and belly pain keeps coming back, tell your doctor and say yes to Linzess.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. For a hand up and help with your utility bills now during these difficult times, contact the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
Help is what we've always given. So thank you to our helpers at BMO and beyond. Thank you to the healers, the fighters, the all-nighters, the cleaners, the movers, the 18-wheelers. Thank you to the farmers, the grocers, the above and beyonders. Thank you to all the frontliners for keeping our lives moving when the world needs to stop.
Social distancing and family quarantines are a jarring reality for kids. It's a big adjustment, so it's important that we adults do what we can to help them navigate this new normal. Encourage your kids to ask questions and give them honest, age-appropriate answers. Show them things that they can do to regain some control. And above all, reassure them that their safety is your top priority.
Now more than ever, SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take time for kids.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, a question on a lot of people's minds: when will the country reopen? We have some news on that tonight that includes a big warning, plus a major announcement from two of the world's biggest tech companies, and how your smartphone might help stop the spread. And we go on the road to meet a newspaper delivery man with a heart of gold for the customers along his route. That's all tonight on this Friday evening on the CBS Evening News.
A basketball superstar is scoring big with nurses.
That would be Golden State's Warriors superstar Steph Curry thanking nurses. The All-Star FaceTimed Shelby Delaney, an ICU nurse there in Oakland. Delaney, a big fan of the Warriors and of Steph in particular. She, in fact, wears his jersey under her working uniform. The ICU nurse called it one of the coolest moments of her life.
That is very cool, but not as cool as being able to toss to meteorologist Gary Canalti, who has our final check of our forecast. Gary?
I think after you look at the forecast, maybe it won't be quite as cool. It'll be cold. 49 the current temperature. That's chilly for this time of year, but rain is on the way after a mild day tomorrow, perhaps around an inch of rain over parts of southern Wisconsin that could lead to some localized flooding, and then that will change to snow Sunday night with maybe a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, especially north and west of Madison through early Monday morning. Tomorrow, look for a high of 58. Those showers developing south of Madison late in the afternoon, but temperatures turn much colder for the early part of next week. Temperatures well below normal at least through Friday of next week.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.